So I mean, obviously you're dropping breadcrumbs, right? And I want the listener that's listening to obviously, if all this breadcrumbs become a mouthful, then take them as small bites. So on this journey that we're talking about, I mean, we started from point A, where we're kind of continuing down this journey. How long have you been on this path? I mean, I'm thinking about from the time that you decided to start this commodity company to where you are right now. How many years? Because again, the perception, it may be viewed as being an overnight success, but in reality,
No,
how long has it took?
no. So I'm actually physically in Florence, Italy right now. I live in Italy 2, 3 months a year. It's my passion. It's where my soul's at peace. We have a business here now, a separate portfolio company. And in 2006, 16 years ago, something went really wrong for me in college. I was a junior in college. It was after my folks went bankrupt. I continued. I had a pretty shitty event happen. And I was going down a path, and that changed overnight. And my only dream in life was to come to Italy, meet my Italian relatives, and learn to speak the language. I didn't grow up speaking the language. And then somehow I went down the program in college and went down a different path of what I think I should do and blah, 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 leadership inside of an organization. And then that evaporated. And then I said, well, crap, I'm going to get back to me and what makes me happy. And I went to the student abroad, study abroad office and found a program in Florence. I'd never been to Italy, signed up. And 6 weeks later, I was living here with a family. And so this was 2006. And here we are 16 years later. I was 20 years old. I'm now 37. I was just about to turn 21. My path to my entrepreneurial dreams started on that plane ride to Italy, because when I landed, I took an intro to entrepreneurship course here. And I wasn't the lemonade stand guy. I just wasn't. It wasn't me. I believe entrepreneurs are both made and born. I don't believe it's just entrepreneurs are born. I believe people learn and discover and find entrepreneurship, and it's both. And so my intro to entrepreneurship course here changed my life. I had an amazing professor, read Howard Schultz's biography, Pour Your Heart Into It. I read Seth Godin's Purple Cow. And I was like, man, this is me. The other people think about the world the same way I do. Wow, okay. And so that inspired me. I got back to college 6 months later, back to USC, and I joined the entrepreneur program. And that's what started everything on my journey. And I remember when I was graduating and we started the commodities trading, let me just be really clear. I had no effing clue what I was doing. Zero. I didn't know anything about commodities. I didn't know, I bought commodities trading for dummies. I mean, come on. Like, I was really, really knowing nothing about any of that. But I remember taking a lawyer who I had met, who came in and spoke in one of my classes. He was an entrepreneurial lawyer. I remember asking him out to lunch because USC, I had a mentor, and USC is really big on this. They teach you that your network is your net worth. And man, that couldn't be more true. And so I really took that to heart. I started building connections and really taking people and asking them to do my mentorship. I mean, I asked Mark Benioff to be my mentor. I asked Bob McKnight, the founder of Quicksilver. I mean, you name it. I was like, would you be my mentor? Would you be my mentor? And, I was like constantly trying to feed into these systems, and I would hustle to try to find their emails, and sometimes they would respond and sometimes not. But I took this lawyer out to lunch, and we were telling him about our idea for this commodities business. And we were asking him simple questions like, what is a company? What does it mean to be an LLC or a corporation? Or, I was 21 or 22. And he gave us, graciously all the answers and what it means. And then at the end of the lunch, I'll never forget it. I was with my business partner, my best friend at the time, Peter. And Rick turns to us, the lawyer, and he says, okay, guys, difference between an entrepreneur and a wantrepreneur is what you do right now. Do you want to come back to my office and incorporate, or do you want to go be a wantrepreneur? And we looked at each other and we said, let's go, let's do it. And I remember very specifically being like, at that age, you kind of talk to your parents about everything and you want to run it by them. And I was like, I don't want to tell my parents. They're going to tell me all the reasons why it's a bad idea, why I should go get a job. And that's when we incorporated our first company. It's called Cardinal Trading Company. And that was our first one. And I remember thinking back then, future me will thank me for starting now. And I do. I thank that little guy for getting going, because that path, circuitous as it was, led me to be sitting here talking to you in this beautiful city of Florence, having failed forward in a lot of different ways to the path that I'm on.